I was only supposed to be in Alabama for 2 weeks, and here it's been 3 months.
Before Kris went back to Alabama, Jeymi was nervous and worried that Kris would not be coming back. Kris reassured her that I'll be back within no more than 2 weeks to the max. But instead, we're in a situation where she's gone back to Alabama and it is now 3 months later. The story between Kris and Jeymi just doesn't get any better.
At first, I had to extend my trip because I had some medical issues that I had to get taken care of. And then I realized that we were running out of money faster than even I thought.
You know, I find this whole money thing quite suspect. I mean, I even find the whole medical thing suspect too, because how can you say that she had to extend her trip back to the US for medical purposes when all you had to do was to go back to get a refill? I mean, surely someone in your family would have rang the doctor up and got you an appointment before you even flew back to the US, before you even landed in Alabama. I mean, obviously, how would you be able to give a timeline to your partner that, hey, I'm only going to be gone for 2 weeks, I'll be back? You do that because you already have things set in place. So you didn't have it. So by the seams of it, she didn't have her doctor's appointment set in place for her to get a refill because that needed to be extended. And then also at the same time, we're talking about financials. Last episode, they were talking about legit buying a food truck for 10K, 20K. But now you're saying that money isn't really looking that good. I'm lost here with this woman, to be honest, because there's a lot of things that Kris be saying, and a lot of it is just wishy-washy, and you just don't know what is true and what is not. But we continue.
That's just how bad this is for me. I don't enjoy this at all. I want to be there just as much as you want me there. But I'm having to work here because I can work here.
So this is my struggle with this statement here. I'm having struggle. Wait. So if she knew that she couldn't work in Colombia, then why did she initially plan to go to Colombia on a permanent basis to marry Jeymi and be there on a permanent basis, and then look for business that you can make of your own in Colombia, then come back to the States, then say, yeah, so basically I can't actually work there, so I gotta stay here. You see what I mean about the wishy-washy? Like I'm lost in translation. But we continue with this shambolic nonsense.
But then she gets a phone call from her boss saying, you come to work now or quit. At the time, I told her that if she wanted to quit, she could.
It's funny because she's the one that tells Jeymi that you can quit if you want to. You can quit if you could. Okay, so why tell your partner to quit if you know that you are not in a good financial place? Listen.
But she would need to go out and search for another job. But that never happened.
I love the way Kris has found a way to just throw Jeymi under the bus. And I'm not saying that Jeymi's innocent in the matter to the slightest, but before you tell someone that you can quit your job if you want or if you can, whatever, usually you would advise someone to go and get another job first before leaving their current job, especially if you know that you are low on money and you know that you now have to stay in America for longer for all these reasons you're putting out there. We went from medical extension to then, you know, I need work, so obviously I can't work there even though you're trying to make a business there. But to then, oh yeah, so you can leave it, but you can leave your job. But now you left your job and you haven't got a new job. I'm now stuck here. It's exhausting, isn't it? Like, I don't understand where the communication was in terms of, okay, if you're going to leave your job, let me know. No. If you're going to leave your job, make sure you got another one lined up first, at least anyway. Anyone that's in a financial situation would not allow someone to lose a job, to leave their job whilst they're in a financial situation. You say, find a job and then leave your job. But no, she just wants to be like, yeah, I told her not to do it, so now she's just living the vida loca. Again, I'm not saying that Jeymi's innocent in the situation, but a lot of things that Kris is saying is just inconsistent. Like, but you know what though? We haven't even got to the pinnacle. Just wait for it.
It's so formally what? You call me preacher.
That's a lie.
Look at yourself, Kris. It's no lie. I call you and never answer me. I'm texting you all the time. Please call me when you can.
You know, what Kris is forgetting here is that she's got a history of letting Jeymi down with communication. She's forgetting that she has a history of legit just ghosting Jeymi. So Jeymi's paranoia, insecurities is always going to come from the fact that she's worried that you're not coming back. I mean, look at this one. From the very first episode we met these two, Jeymi's biggest worry ever since has always been, I don't think Kris is going to come back. I don't think Kris is going to do this. I don't think Kris is going to do that. And to be fair, because she has this heavy level of insecurities that Kris isn't going to come back for her, it makes you wonder why Jeymi's still wasting her time, to be fair with you. You are a product of your own choices. And to be honest with you, that's why, for me personally, do I feel sorry for Jeymi in terms of the fact that Kris is someone that makes her feel like as if she's going to ghost at any given point. I don't, because she's been through it and therefore she should leave, but she continues to want to stay in it. So that is on her personally. But obviously at the same time though, Kris, obviously, if Kris really wants to make this woman happy and they're really happy like this, Kris should be doing better. You know, it's like you're dealing with two people who have two completely different mindset. You got one Kris who's just like, I'll just contact when I like, I'll do what I like when I want to do it, you know what I mean? It is what it is, I'm from Alabama. Then you got Jeymi who just happily fuss and moan and cry, but then she won't actually be like, you know what, I gotta leave because you're not good for my mental health. Neither one of them seem to be neither one of them seem to know how to communicate with each other, or at least read one another. But I guess like that does it for some people.
But you never can.
When I don't answer the phone, do you know what I'm doing? I'm working to send you money.
I want you to remember this point here where Kris says, if I don't send you money, if I don't answer the phone, it's because I'm working. It's very interesting when she says that, because she's working, right? That is the reason that she's given, because she's working. Remember that.
Sweetheart, every time I talk to you, this is what you're doing. You know, nothing's ever enough. So why would I want to talk to you?
You tell me bitch all the time.
Because that's what you're doing, bitching.
All right, boom. So let's talk about this real quick. Why would I want to talk to you is if each time we talk, all you do is shout at me. So in reality, this is why Kris doesn't call Jeymi, because Jeymi does make it abundantly clear that you never call me, it's always me calling you. So the reason why Kris doesn't call Jeymi is because she doesn't want to experience the wrath of Jeymi complaining, and I guess, quote unquote, Jeymi bitching. Okay, if that's the case, well then, one, make that vocal in your relationship, because if you're not going to make it vocal and have a good communication or some form of communication, well then what's the point of being in that relationship? Communication is key to keeping a relationship strong. Ignoring all that kind of stuff or putting things under the brush, it's never going to be healthy, right? So in reality here, as we look at the situation, these two have to work a whole lot more on that communication. But either way though, it is evident. The reason why Kris is not speaking to Jeymi, the reason why she avoids Jeymi is because she does not want to talk to her. That is the real reason here. She keeps talking about this and that, but that is the real reason. Like I said before, wishy-washy, and that was the pinnacle. But, let's continue.
Cuando eso no sucedió, comencé a dudar de ella. Entiendo que necesitamos dinero para pagar las cuentas, pero creo que ella debería hablar conmigo y poder buscar una solución juntos.
That line there is pretty much what matters the most. To find a solution together. There is no such thing as finding a solution by yourself when you're in a relationship. It's all about having that communication so you can find a solution together. If you're not willing to find a solution together, well then you're not in a relationship, you're not a team, right? End of the day, the whole idea of being in a relationship is to be a team. And if you're not going to have that, well then it makes things very, very challenging. It makes things harder than what they are, harder than what they need to be. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, Kris is wrong for being with Jeymi if she feels like Jeymi is just a nagging woman. And Jeymi is wrong for being with Kris if she feels like Kris is always trying to avoid her and not be around her. And I'm not saying that how they're both feeling is incorrect. What I'm saying is that how they're both feeling is the reason why they need to, one, improve their communication to hope for things to make better. And if things can't get better, then two, they need to just go separate ways. But I'm going to add in a three. And three, these are the things that they should have done before they even got married in the first goddamn place in the first place. But when it comes to Kris, though, she is obviously a serial marriage person, because this is now her third wedding, her third marriage, I believe. Seems to me it's going to be another one that's going to go kaput, but we shall wait and see, because right now she's married to a woman, and she married her and then literally left like the day or two after getting married to her. And since then, She hasn't seen her for 3 months, and they're just going back and forth. They didn't even get a honeymoon. Either way, though, it seems to me the chance of Kris going back to Colombia doesn't look very likely, though, because realistically, if she feels like she can't work in Colombia, then why is she going to go back there? Which again is wishy-washy because they were there looking for business, but whatever, innit? Either way, though, I guess we'll find out what's going to happen next with the happy couple. Sorry, wrong button there. Don't forget to like, sub, and of course, peace.